One of the most powerful augmented reality engines on the web just became free, and that might significantly change how AR experiences are built moving forward. You might have seen the news that 8th, one of the leading platforms for WebXR, has made its engine open source. In this video, I'll show you a simple website that runs on desktop, then in augmented reality, and then even inside a pair of AR glasses, all using the same code. But to understand why this matters, we need a bit of a background. See, for the longest time, the biggest problem with AR experiences was distribution. The medium itself has proven to be valuable for brands and their clients, and also for general artistic expression, but how do you get as many people as possible to experience it on as many devices as possible in a frictionless and cost-efficient way? That was always a problem. And yeah, one could always build a native app, but realistically, no one would bother installing it, so friction. For some time, social AR was a good way of doing it, with the added benefit of organic and sometimes viral distribution through platforms that everyone was using anyway. But it also had its downsides. One of them was that it was locking you into proprietary platforms that could change or go away at any moment, which was a huge problem for brands and agencies that were building entire campaigns around those platforms, and just for creatives using them for self-expression. And that is exactly what happened to the biggest of them all. Last year, MetaSpark, also known as Spark AR, the engine that was powering effects on Instagram and Facebook, closed access to third-party developers like myself, disrupting campaigns and essentially throwing a huge and thriving industry under the bus. And so, all this time, the most obvious, accessible alternative to social AR was WebXR. See, there is something called WebXR Device API, and it's a group of standards for AR and VR experiences on the web, meaning that as long as all browsers implement support for it, it would be possible to simply open a website and run an AR experience there. Sounds great, right? Well, Apple, for whatever reason, doesn't want to fully integrate that into their ecosystem, so unfortunately, your iPhone cannot run those WebXR-based experiences. And so, this is where 8th was able to fill in a very obvious gap. They invested heavily into their own engine that was able to run in a browser and provide very decent AR functionality, such as face tracking, image tracking, world tracking. However, they also wanted to return on that investment, and rightfully so, and they were charging you for commercial use of their products. In fact, since their solution was arguably the best, they were charging quite a premium, and from my experience building 8th projects, only the top clients with big fat budgets were able to afford it. So for a lot of developers and smaller studios, this kind of web AR was simply out of reach. Well, now things are different. The 8th engine binary was made available to use for free, and it supports all the necessary core features that you might need for your typical AR experience. So we have WebXR that is supported on most platforms, including headsets, and the iOS gap is now filled with this nice and free-to-use solution, which means the same web experience can now realistically run across phones, headsets, and eventually AR glasses. And I would argue that this stack is ridiculously future-proof. And for that, let me actually show you how this can be done today, for free, with an working prototype. We'll start with a normal website, turn it into an AR experience on mobile, and then run the exact same thing inside a pair of AR glasses. So, this is a little website that I have developed, and it uses Three.js to render this nice-looking product card here. We've got customization, and we can also turn the lamp on and off, just standard stuff. And so, now let's say I want to take it to the next level and let people experience it in AR on mobile. Well, all I need to do is throw the new open source 8th engine in, and so now I will load the very same website on my iPhone, and here we go. I have the product card floating in space, and I can still interact with it the same way I did before. And you might ask, why not just display a flat card on a mobile website? Like, why do it in AR? Fair enough, but it being in AR, now I can do this. I can pull the lamp out of the card at a real-world scale and walk around my room and see how it will fit in here or there. Just see how it fits in my space. And if I want a second one, I just go back to the card, pull another one out, and so it forms a very nice, very natural interaction pattern. It's digital, but it replicates a real-world human experience of placing something in your space and just seeing how it fits in. Basically what spatial computing is all about. But now, what will happen if I open this experience on a pair of AR glasses? So, these are Snapchat's spectacles, or simply specs, and they allow you to build experiences using both their own development platform called Lens Studio, but also their web browser has WebXR API support. And so all I have to do is add a WebXR fallback for my website. So now I go on and open the same website in those glasses, and once again, I get the identical experience on this very different device. Same website, same code, but completely different surfaces. And again, everything is built for free on the web. Also, you might have noticed that the capture is a bit blurry, but rest assured it's actually really crisp on glasses themselves. It's just that browser app, for some reason, when capturing, records things blurry, but it's not blurry, that's all I'm saying. Alright, let's take it another step further. I will add a custom synchronization server that will make sure that all the devices connected to the website synchronize the changes they make to the scene. And I will also add a coordinate space calibration step on mobile to make sure we can have a co-located experience, meaning that all of our devices agree on where exactly in the real world everything is. And so now, if I go on decorating my room from my glasses, someone else on their phone can observe me doing that, and they can interact with the same elements I'm interacting with. And again, this is possible today. It's just a website. So all you need to do is open a URL or scan a QR code. This is actually much closer to the real idea of the metaverse, not the overhyped one. Shared spatial experiences that live on the web. And so, have we arrived at the promised land of spatial computing, where a shared virtual world exists alongside the real one and is visible to the naked eye? Not yet, but we're getting closer, and that's what I really like about this space. It has a huge potential to transform how we interact with the world around us and with each other. But I guess the main takeaway is that if you're a brand or an agency interested in providing your audiences with easy-to-access immersive experiences today, well, it just became much easier and straightforward. And if you're an immersive media artist trying to get your work out there, this is very powerful. It doesn't lock you into anything. You can post your work wherever you like, distribute it however you like, and in pretty much all the practical ways, it's yours and you control it. And I think that's big. So if you're a fellow developer, please let me know what you think of it and how you see it fitting into your pipeline, and whether you see yourself pitching more WebXR projects this year, or simply using it more to prototype things for fun. And of course, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I hope to bring you more videos like this in the coming months, and just try to provide you with an additional perspective into the world of immersive media and creative tech. Thanks a lot, and see you soon.